We need to examine places. The Crystal Tower, for one. The Crystal Tower. It certainly adds a name. It was built in the focal point of the exposition. It definitely is being so tall with all the glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you had to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors. Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw. Thanks to that incident, the whole tower is shut. Only it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. Apparently everyone's taking to the skies now to look down to the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go to the balloon now. Runners must be very patient people. Patient? I wouldn't say. Resilient is, I think, the better word. I mean to ask you for a while now, but what are those funny round blobs floating in the sky? Oh, they're the flying balloons I've been talking about. I want to go up in one so much. I've read about situations like this in a magazine. About strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming in round flying objects to attack Earth. What? I suppose inhabitants of other planets are bound to be interested in the great exposition. This is it, Iris. It's happening. It's not. Don't worry. I'll explain to you all later out over a nice cup of tea, Bruno. Fair. Oh, no, in particular. Can we get the Union Jack? No. This platform must be set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up. About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to said. I don't really understand feet very well. I don't use them in Japan. Oh yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you'll have to be in London a year. But soon you'll have been in London in a year, Bruno. It's time you got used to our measurements. Yes, well, this thing is so tall the spectators on the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else. They probably thought they secured the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed. There's a saying in Japan, darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Yeah, it would. I did not want to do that. But what the heck? Okay. Yes. Already got all this stuff. It's all been got, paid for, all etc. etc. Please, let me leave. Let me leave. Okay. That's where the Gov ended up after his instant kinesis or whatever they call it. Dead, of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success? What's the wooden scaffold there for? The coppers, lads, set that up after the incident happened. Get the body down, I think. Don't know, really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold, then? Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exposition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Mind Grayson doesn't hear you saying that. Or we'll give you the boot. Incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have been bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Par chance. I have a feeling this is more of a magician situation that's going to be afoot, if you were to ask me. I didn't want to do that. Oh, look! What's this? A red piece of cloth? Not like any fabric I've seen before. Pretty thick and stiff. Looks extremely durable. It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. The edges appear to be a bit charred as well. Maybe that means it has something to do with the explosion. Let's make a note of it while Jeannie's mid-yawn. Okay. What is this? Ah, it looks like it's, though somebody dropped something behind the tray just here. Dropped? Or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded? Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in a blast, perhaps. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Okay. And then this? For some reason the ground is damaged in this spot. Look. Almost as if there was a fire or something. Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too. Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably won't bat an eye at the small fire like this would have been. I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Reno. Is that so? Looks like we got everything here. Now it's time to present them with a bunch of wild things. Like this. This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer. And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. You're all gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade. In that case, you'll have to start calling me, well, anything but Odo. Call you Defender Narudodo, if you like. Don't really trip off the tongue. No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? Damn, you tried. Okay, no? They just steal it? Oh, that's cute. That's pretty cute. Alright, let's ask Jeannie about this. Jeannie, will you take a look at... Oh, yeah. Okay, so same thing happened. Can we do what the other one, then? The east one, perhaps? No. Okay, so we exhausted all options with that. It might end up going somewhere if we talk to her, but that's it. So let's talk to her, then. Converse. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, and then she got embroidered in a murder. I had a lot of time to think in prison. Realized I couldn't go on like I was, diving working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Jeannie. Well done. So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? Got it. Good, ain't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Talk about a sea change. Then there's Iris's old man to think about. Iris's father? You mean... Yeah. I promised her, didn't I? Said I'd get all the police forces around the world, pull out all the stops looking for them. It's a small promise then. Nothing serious. But Jeannie, you're so sweet. See, when there's things like this, I have to ship them. They're so cute together. They honestly are. I think she's like 8 or something, and like she's like 17 maybe, but like, I don't know. No, I think she's like 12 actually. I think there's like a 5-year difference. I'll have to look. You know what? Sasuke court record. Let's go. I wanna see. Let me see the people. How old is she? She is 10. She's 18. Okay, that could work. That could actually work. they couldn't be dating, like, right then, you feel me? But, like, down the line when she's, like, 28, she'll be 20. That is kind of reasonable, honestly. And I think it would work. I'm just saying. She does her own thing and everything, so yeah. I ship them. I do. So anyway, that's how come I'd go to the test for Scotland Yard. The trouble is, I don't read so well, do I? It's a small problem. Nothing serious. And that's when Haley approached Gracie and asked for help. The inspector said, take full responsibility for Jeannie and make her a sort of apprentice. That was a very magnanimous of Inspector Grayson. And brave. Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants. Yeah, that's true. The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So the long and short of it is, you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then. Inspector? Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Oh, what, Rena? What? Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in the trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she still is. Come on! You're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called? Cool. You don't have to worry, you know? I didn't have to worry. There probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's kind of like, mysterious. So he knows, what I'm like on the inside, and that I really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be a stretch at this point. What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more disconcerting than I thought. Exactly! So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine. Okay. About yesterday's incident, then. Oh, it was out of this world, it was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on his machine, and suddenly it started blowing smoke. And it just went pop. Ain't seen a better experiment in it yet. Sorry? You mean you saw it, Jeannie? Your own eyes? Yeah, of course. Boss is in charge here, ain't it? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. Boss being Inspector Grayson, I suppose. That's gonna take some getting used to. All I have to say is that I'm on duty, and I can do whatever I want. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Jeannie. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put a boss in his place already, right, Iris? You have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start? No. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. The machine exploded so spectacularly. How can Professor Bunnybrain still be complaining that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success, in a way. It was? What could it have been? Yeah, how was it successful? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. Like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a smoke and a whooping great bang. Where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there? What? In the tower? Yeah? You see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold? Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim I got to start with it. Really did get beamed out through the air or whatever, and landed all the way over there. And so, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Well, I tell you what, you can have this. The plain old experiment they drew up in the yard. Are you sure? Yeah, go on. I have the bob off you before. It's a fair's fair. Yes, I did actually give that to you, did I? Okay, about the investigation then. I think Inspector Grayson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. Yes, naughty old Gregsy ran off after that without explaining himself. Oh, right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant. In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? No, ain't getting it. Ain't allowed to investigate either. Why? Well, the boss call him again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from the lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can investigate? Guess I never heard something like that before. I could have a gander on the quiet though, but my boss caught me at it. Well, I heard I'm giving me a earful about it before from down here, didn't you? Not blatant fair. I think you were giving him as much an earful back as I remember. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to me, Uno? Go on. See if you could get through to him. He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine exploded? We could try, can't we, Bruno? Grixie will listen to us. I guess we could try. Sure. Can we move over here at all? No. So we have to do it a different way. There's only one way to look around. So move? Yeah, examine. Experimentation stage. That's kind of the only one. Okay. So, do I just press this? Please. There we go. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. The 22nd of October. The Great Exposition. Grounds. Experimentation stage. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up? Oh, it must have been a massive, magnificent explosion. I've seen my fair share. Seen things like this before, you mean? Of course! Harley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry. That might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs. One time he made something that exploded with such force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Runo. It's hard to get too excited about that. And that I now live in a roof. Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate. Oh, Oh look, Inspector Grayson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully. Really? Just looks confused to me. Well, let's examine. What is that gigantic thing over there? Looks like an enormous water wheel. Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins. You could see. Why? Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery. Wait, it's turning? It looks completely still. Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour. You're mad enough to go in one. It'd be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think? Feels like you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Runo. Yeah, I guess so. All sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exposition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time. Oh, in your country, Runo. I do wish I could go and see it. I presented particularly a Steely Samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I written especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Partetsu master ninjas. You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think. Oh, well, that's dull. Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Choming top knot that I can introduce you to. Chomang? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him? Do you? Assuming he's recovered from the trim that Cosmo gave him a year ago. Yes. Okay. There's that. A lot of things here. Oh, there's one. It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it? Magnificently and mercilessly. So anyone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air? Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point. Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris? Oh, Runo. I'm just a child. How should I know? A child when it suits you, you mean? From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this lever— Stop! Don't touch that! That was practically instantaneous kinesis, the way you flew over here just now, Gregsy. Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here. Oh, so sorry. Here's some of my latest special blend to make up for it. Oh, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. We're representing Professor Hairbrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So, we should be allowed to examine the scene. Oh, listen here, sunshine. Even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted special disposition for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. Astronomy party. Oh yes, the special disputation. The professor mentioned that too. More red tape's all we need. Doubt what the government thinks it's playing at some times. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Gregsy? Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. And please don't give your dirty hands dirty, will you? Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo? Really knows how to get what she wants. Important trait for any woman. Let's examine it a bit more. Look how badly damaged everything is. Professor Harebrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touching anything, and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strong up myself, you see? I won't touch anything, I promise, so please. It's fair thought of for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble like the professor claims? Yes, looking incredibly, totally incredulous. Get a rest, sunshine. Be allowed to examine all this blatant scrap metal? Maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Cause that annoying rolls, you mean?
Exactly! The annoying obstruction, blaming rules. Oh, it's like the base of the machine there.
Ah, yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think.
Isn't it a lovely one? The handle is the shape of a capital letter A.
It is? I guess you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything I said! Touching anything, I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes, I understand. Sorry. I only touched a teeny bit.
But Gregsy, very curious about the screwdriver. Really very, very curious.
What's your ladyship? You're so clever, your ladyship. That's spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Runa found it first.
I assure you, we'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it.
It's very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Grayson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Or Grexy. Oh dang, he just left. I was trying to talk with him. Oh. An amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. Because once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shouted out of that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Runo. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed into their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it wasn't as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
Nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? No, it does not. Those are the people carrying balloons dangling suddenly in the skies over London? I thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful, floating temeri handballs.
I'm sure it must feel amazing, being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Runo, please?
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try. Without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh well, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground, as long as it doesn't explode.
Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a bit. Fair. Like, that's all there is to it. Examine. Is there anything left to examine here? No. Okay, so now let's present him with this. This is the symbol of the defense lawyer where I come from, Inspector. Well, doesn't pass mustard here in London. Might as well chuck it in a deep, fat fryer. No one's ever said that to me before. Mr. Sloan suggested I feed it to a dog, though. You fry it first, you can feed it to me. Do you think it's made of potatoes? I mean, it might be. Who knows? Converse. Using high voltage electricity and somehow disassemble a man's body, and then beam him across to the crystal tower? It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True. It was by far the most unusual experiments planned for the exposition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. It's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. And more worried about being ahead of the game than on a spot of public safety infringements. They could be the first to develop some new technology, makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see. Yes, I suppose that's true. In a way. The powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
I'm making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Right through development into practical idea, and even going into production. Which is the inferior reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new high flotation special dispensation for scientific equipment act forbids it.
Oh, I see now.
Only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department of the Yard. The Forensics Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
Forensic Investigation Team?
Any old fool could see this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. Just because it says scientific experiment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing about it.
Poor Gregsy. He's very het up, isn't he?
Okay, special dispensation.
Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here?
Are you having sunshine? It's a special dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act.
Yes, I think Curling mentioned that recently. A real twinkle in his eye, as I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Especially for this great exposition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or invitations to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintaining the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing news inventions on display every day at this exposition. Although a good half of them are clubbers, you ask me, before by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's also fun.
It might be fun to you, but remember the Force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine it? Playing science? That's what I say.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You soon think otherwise after spending a day gotten all those shamus, bogus contraptions. They're all bogus. How can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there's a point, sadly. Sorry? Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas, any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. The scientists get funding? Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming out from afar and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who was it to keep them all safe, eh? Who was it to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. They can see why I say it now, can't ya? Hate science. Hate!
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Alright, what about him, though? Apparently Professor Harebrayne lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exposition, as I understand it. I swallowed something. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was in university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. What's that? That's news to me. But Van Zeeks mans the prosecution. Then as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed. Because the Reaper will get him one way or another. Blimey. That man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking of Van Zeeks, there's one this paper around the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, right. But here. Yeah, the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up? Wonder. The mystery of the Reaper. The victim in this case, the investor, Mr. Osmond. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Bark Van Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor. But even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard has suspected Van Zeeks initially. Oh, soon he was taking matters in his own hands. He failed to seal the deal in court. The man himself denies that charge. Well, we have done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. No question in my mind. Take my reputation on it. I would. And if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those offenders who couldn't just have conditionally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but explain it. The mystery, after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Hairbrain mentioned something else. He said that at the university, Lord Van Zeeks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. What? He said that was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Right. Are you done here, Miss Naruto, though? Sorry? Is it about time you were leaving? Or rather, is it about time you were leaving? That lot out here now.
That lot?
Forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the heave-ho in a minute, too.
Oh dear, poor Gregsy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up.
That hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, I guess I've seen the scene with my own eyes. Looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigation here, at least.
I've been thinking. Early might know something. Might he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? It sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Slomes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
What's this? What kind of entrance ticket? Madam Two Spells? Is this supposed to be, mean something to me?
You don't know? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No. We don't have time for visiting attractions today. Iris, we have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me. But he told me to keep it a secret from you, you know?
Not in the spells? I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here. But then, stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Slomes is usually at the heart of them.